right, welcome back. Sytonia here for the TST Network. I am here with Billy.
What's up, y'all?
He's Tupac's cousin.
That's right.
Once again, congratulations on Tupac being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Right on.
You did your thing. You set the foundation. You put the movement out there. The fans responded, and it happened.
Yeah.
And we want to give a big thanks to T.I. and, of course, Snoop Dogg and Nas, like all these different people who came out to support.
Tretch, YG. Who else? Am I missing anybody? Alicia Keys, yo.
What?
God damn, how could I fit? Yo,
Alicia Keys.
She set it off.
Did she really?
Yeah, she did about 3 or 4 songs.
She's so amazing.
She's dope,
like she's on her own little movement right now. Like while we're talking about movements.
Wow, I love that woman, man. Yeah, she's did
gorgeous.
Her thing.
Yeah.
She sure did.
So
shout out to Alicia Keys.
Hey,
baby.
Alicia.
Love you, man. Big fan.
So before we went to break, we knew we were going to talk about when we came back. So I'm about to come with you. First question, as a fan, who in the hell is Haitian Jack? Is he real?
Haitian Jack. Of course he's real. Hell yeah.
How real?
Let me tell you about this dude. Yeah, word. Yeah, Haitian Jack. Okay. So I guess you want to know how he met, how Pac met him. Okay, that's a good question.
Because I'm like, you know, anyone who listens to Pac's music, you've heard the name Haitian Jack. And I always wonder, like, what's this? Is he telling me, is he just telling me a story? Because, you know, he was good at storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, is he telling me a story or does this dude really exist? Like, who is Haitian Jack?
Right. Okay, cool. So Haitian Jack is this guy, that came into Pac's life. But I have to go give you a little background, right? Okay, so the first time I ever met Haitian Jack was in 1983.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I met him in 1983. I met him in Rikers Island. We were both sitting in Rikers Island.
What were you in Rikers Island for, if I may ask?
I was in Rikers Island for gambling.
And what was Haitian Jack?
He was in Rikers Island for shooting somebody in the kneecaps.
Okay. Yeah. Haitian Jack. Okay,
he shot this dude in the kneecaps, and he got arrested for it. Right, but what was crazy about it was that he walked right out. Like he only sat in jail maybe a few hours.
Wow.
And he walked out. He had a bail, and he made bail. His bail, I remember, was $3,500.
And he was out.
And he was out for attempted murder. Oh, right? And while we were in the bullpen together, we got to know each other. We talked, and we got to know each other a little bit, and he told me who he was. And then also people who were in the bullpen with us told me a little bit about him after he left, after he went home. And then fast forward to 1991 or 92.
Wow.
Okay? So I'm in New York with Pac in the studio. He's recording Running from the Police with Biggie, right? And the little dude, the little Jamaican dude, I forgot his name, but God bless him, shout out to him, I forgot his name. I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, we all in the studio, and there's Jack. So I'm telling Pac, I'm like, yo, I know this guy from somewhere. I couldn't place his name. I knew his face, but I couldn't place his name. And I'm telling Pac, yo, I know him from somewhere, and Pac is not paying me too much attention, right? And then, like, weeks later, he ends up hanging out with Pac in different clubs and so on. And every time I see him, I would tell Pac, I know this guy from somewhere, and it's not good. And then one day, we're sitting in Pac's house, and he gets a call from Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson's in prison at this time. And Mike Tyson, I can hear the conversation, right? And Mike Tyson is telling Pac, you know, not to hang out. You know, he's like, I'm hearing you hanging out with this guy, Haitian Jack. Don't hang out with him. He's bad news. He's a gutter rat. I heard Mike literally say that. He's a gutter rat. Don't hang out with him. You know what I'm saying? And Pac didn't pay no. Pac was hard-headed, man. They didn't listen to nobody.
Hard-headed and very accepting.
Yeah, very stubborn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he just knew all the answers. You couldn't tell him anything. So what culminated was that one day we were all in the house and Jack was there, and we were all getting drunk, and I was an alcoholic, like I was a known drunk, right, at that time, and I used to get in a lot of fights and shit. So one day we're sitting in the kitchen and I'm drinking, and then it dawned on me where I knew this guy from. And I confronted him right in front of Pac. I told Pac, I said, yo, I know where this guy, I know this guy from. And I ran it down. I said, yo, I turned to him and said, yo, you don't remember me? I said, we were in Rikers Island together back in '83, and you told me you shot in the knees, and you was sending for Jamaicans to come from Jamaica to run your spots in New York, and then after they made money for you, you have them hit and all that shit. And damn, I'm surprised you're still alive. And Pac, stop this. Pac didn't listen to me then. And me and Pac ended up getting into a fight.
A fist fight?
Yeah, we got into a fight in his house. And it was crazy because he ran in his bedroom and got a billy club and came chasing after me with the billy club, trying to hit me with the billy club. Well, he wasn't chasing after me because I was running towards him. You know what I'm saying?
But he was coming after you with the billy club.
Yeah, he was coming after me, and I was running towards him, trying to disarm him. And some family members, Yaki Gaddafi, God bless his soul, he was murdered a month after Pac was, grabbed me and dragged me in the bathroom and locked the door. And the next morning, you know, I spent the night outside on the porch, right? Yeah. They locked me out the house, basically. Oh, gosh. And I slept on the porch. And the next morning, I came inside the house, and Pac looked at me, started laughing, and was like, yo, what's up, what's up? Like, nothing happened. Right. And, you know, it was like nothing happened. It was squashed. It was squashed, exactly. That's the one thing I liked about him. He never kept a grudge. Right. He never held a grudge against his family. He never held a grudge. And it was just like one of those things. We fought all the time. We were like nemesis, you know. We always fought. But Pac continued hanging out with Dude, but he was starting to see that this guy wasn't who he thought he was. Jack was known as a gangster in New York, you know, and he was known as an extortionist. You know, he was extorting rappers, and, you know, and he was, you know, but Pac had no respect for him. And Dude started realizing that Pac was losing a lot of respect for him. And that's when he started plotting on disciplining Pac. And that's what led up to him getting shot in New York in the studio. Oh, gosh, the first time. The first time, yeah. Okay, so pause right there. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about Tupac getting shot, but even earlier than that, I want to talk about the alleged rape. And then the female actually contacted you, correct? That's right, yep. That's a fact, yep. You got stories to tell for days. Man, do I, man, your word. So let's take a break, and we'll get into all of that when we come right back. Yeah, thank you, yep. Be back. So welcome back to TST Network. I am Sytonia, and I'm here talking to Tupac's cousin Billy. Juicy, right? Juicy? We need something a little bit deeper, a little bit heavier than some juice. Yeah. You got a story to tell. Real like, talk. There's so much. Yeah. So we just finished talking about the infamous Haitian Jack. Right, yeah. So you started to segue into Haitian Jack, Tupac getting shot the first time. Before we get into that, I want to ask you about the young lady and the whole situation with the alleged rape, in which he actually ended up serving a little bit of jail time for. But at the end of the day, if people really paid attention, it wasn't necessarily because he was responsible
but like, not that he committed the crime of rape, but they were saying, from what I understand, that he was somehow responsible for what happened to her because she was in his presence. Which to me is some BS. But
it was absolute. Like when I first heard about that, I knew it was bullshit. Right. So what happened was, see, Jack introduced this chick, right, to Tupac. I'm not going to say her name. Right, but her name was revealed, but I'm not going to say her name.
Was the story true about her being in the club?
Yes.
And her, you know,
absolutely
doing this whole
true.
little thing.
Yeah, she sucked him off in the club. And Pac confirmed that on the Arsenio Hall show. He basically explained to Arsenio Hall exactly what happened. He couldn't go into detail because he was in the middle of fighting that case, right?
Right.
But I'm here to confirm also and verify, yes, she sucked him off in the club, and you know, Jack introduced her to him prior to her sucking him off.
Do you think that was a setup?
Yes, because after everything happened, you know, just give you a short story of what happened. You know, after that incident happened in the club, she started hanging around Pac and started calling him a lot, and she wanted to be in his company. But Pac would shake her off, you know? And then she became much more persistent trying to get at him. And then one day, leaving the studio, she calls him and he tells her, okay, well, meet me at the hotel. And when he gets to the hotel, he has Jack, Madman, and maybe 2 or 3 other people
Jack
there.
as in Haitian Jack.
Haitian Jack, right.
Okay.
They're at the hotel. When Pac gets there, the girl comes and he lets her in. Now, mind you, Pac's been working all day. He's been shooting a movie, and he's been in the studio recording all day. He probably hadn't had sleep in 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Right? So when the girl comes into the hotel room, Pac is drained. He really don't want to spend time with this girl, but he told her to come. And, you know, he goes into his suite. The girl follows him in the suite, and he asked the girl for a back rub. Pac was famous for that. He always... You know,
wanted a massage.
Yeah, he always wanted a massage. He liked that, you know, and it was very relaxing for him. And, you know, he asked her for a massage, and she started massaging his back, and then he falls asleep. Now, what happened after he fell asleep is, you know, is up for debate.
Right.
What she claims is that he raped her. But we know...
It's kind of hard to do when you're asleep.
Yeah, right? Like, how's that possible?
Yeah.
You know, and then also, Pac was never hard up for no ass, ever.
No.
No.
Because even the little bit of interaction that I had with him, in meeting him twice, women were just like throwing themselves. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about dimes. Like professionals, not professionals, but I'm talking professional women who have their own money, who have their own this, their own that. They're beautiful.
Beautiful, gorgeous
I'm talking
women.
from A to Z. You could have the gulliest of the gully to the classiest of the classiest throwing their panties at this man.
Yeah, like Pac had, Madonna was at him at that time.
Did he mess with Madonna?
Yes. Sarah.
I always wondered about that.
Sarah Richardson, I think is her name, was at him at that. Is it Sarah Richardson?
She's an actress, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She played in what's the movie?
Sally Richardson.
Sally Richardson.
Because there is a Sarah. She's white, and then there's Sally, and she's, you know, Sally.
Pac was dating her.
Y'all already know Sally ain't no chump change.
You know that he had, you know he was tight with Jada.
Yeah.
And he was also tight with Jasmine Guy. So, you know, why would he... Come on.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the first time I saw him, because I had seen the videos, I had listened to the music, and when I saw him, and I was like, gosh, okay, this is, you know, this dude is gonna be legendary. I've got to get a picture now, and I've got to get a photo now, because I may never, ever, ever have this opportunity again.
Yeah.
And I remember we went to take the picture, and his eyes were so pretty. Yeah. Like he had these pretty, beautiful brown eyes. And he had this, and I remember from, what was it, Poetic Justice, when the character said cute nose. He had this little cute nose. And he was just really nice, and he was really cute. And I remember I was engaged at the time. And so I take this picture with him, and he's Pac. so he's being Pac, and he kind of has his hand, and
Really?
when we took the picture, you know how you put your hands around each other or whatever, and his hand was kind of like on my hip, on my,
Really?
I wasn't mad. I'm just gonna be
You wasn't mad. I wish I could see that picture.
I still have it.
Really?
It's on my Instagram actually, but it's funny because now that you bring it up, the story behind the curve in that area is me trying to cut his hand out of being on my hip so my fiance wouldn't get mad.
See it,
yeah. But I still have that picture. So actually I could pull it up. Maybe we can share that a little bit
I would
later,
like to see that
Yeah,
myself.
I still
Really?
have that picture.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, but just to say, to confirm, Pac ain't got to rape nobody.
Never.
Nobody.
Never. And we never
Nobody.
believed it, right? We never believed it, but we knew what happened. When Pac was arrested, he was arrested with Haitian Jack and Man Man. Man Man was his road manager. Man Man had nothing to do with anything, right?
So Man Man
Pac
was
asleep.
He was straight.
He was definitely straight up at that time. There's a story about him too, but we'll talk about that later. But at the time, he was straight up. He was on point. When Pac was arrested, he was arrested with, like I said, with Man Man and Haitian Jack. Haitian Jack and Pac was co-defendants. But when they went in front of the judge for arraignment, which is their first court appearance, when they went in front of the judge for the first time, they were both given bails, but their cases were separated, right? So now they're not co-defendants anymore, right? Now it's just Man Man and Pac.
Every man for himself.
Right. Well, Man Man and Pac were still co-defendants.
They were together, but Haitian Jack.
Haitian Jack case was separated. And what we found out later was that Jack was an informant. And we saw the paperwork to prove that. We saw the
that
legal
would explain the whole
paperwork. Because he sued.
3,500, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And he sued. That's exactly right. He was getting away with, literally getting away with murder. Literally. Right? So we saw the paperwork. He sued us. He sued the family. Right? Well, after Pac got killed, he sued her. And we saw in his paperwork that he was a known informant. No bullshit. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't deny it.
Yeah,
but I
of
saw
course.
it. And he told up in New York. I mean, I bear witness to it, but everybody know it. It's not a secret. But anyway, so Pac ended up blowing trial for that case. He took that case to trial, as you know, and as everyone else know, during the trial, he was ambushed in New York because he was ambushed in New York. Now, while all this is happening, I'm in jail because I came to New York with Pac.
Yeah, because you were actually there in town when that happened.
Exactly. When all that happened, I came to New York with Pac to watch his back. He was there to film Bullet, and I was there to watch out for him, make sure he didn't get in any trouble. That was my job, basically. Keep the guns off of him. I kept his guns on me, make sure he didn't get in trouble because he was very quick with the trigger. So I made sure that he didn't keep guns on him and I ended up going to jail. So it was like this was out for himself.
Yeah.
And so lo and behold, 2 days, 3 days after I go to jail, he gets ambushed in New York at the studio. And that all happened because of Pac, saying things about Jack publicly that they didn't like, and they felt like they had to discipline him, so they set him up at the studio. He got shot.
So you definitely believe in your heart of hearts that Haitian Jack knew and had something to do with his shooting the first time around.
I know he did. He played the part in that. And he can't do any time now because the statute of limitations is up.
Expired.
It's expired. And, I put it in my script anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, plus he's in Haiti. I don't give a you know what I'm saying?
Why did he go to Haiti?
They extradited him.
What do you think about Suge Knight's opinion?
I don't know what his opinion is. He never said anything about it.
Yeah, there have been some alleged reports that he tried to...
Oh, you're talking about the most recent?
Yes, with him saying that it was a setup from his baby's mom and the actual officer who was
I don't believe
accused.
That. I don't know why Suge... I don't know what the...
That the real hit was supposed to be on him, and...
That's partly true. The hit was supposed to be on him.
Really?
But it was supposed to be on Pac too. See, both of them was supposed to get it. That was the deal that was made a year before.
Really?
Yeah.
Before or after Biggie's death?
After Biggie's. No.
Around the same time?
No. Biggie died after Pac, right?
Before.
Biggie, no, he died after Pac.
Was it after?
Yeah.
6 months after Pac?
Yeah.
Was
right.
it yeah,
he was,
because they thought it was a revenge killing.
Right.
You're right.
That's what Big's killing was thought to be.
So a year before any
before
of
all
this
this
stuff
happened,
even
like,
popped off.
Like right after Pac got out of jail. Like right after Pac did hit him up. When he did hit him up, attacking Biggie and Puffy and Faith and all that, that's what set that shit off. And that was maybe 10 months before, or maybe 8 or 9 months before he got killed.
So who do you think set it up?
Well, you know, there's people that believe Puffy set it up.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, that makes the most sense to me.
In your whole heart of hearts?
Yeah. Because it was a...
Is Puffy that gangster, though? Or does he know those gangsters?
Yeah, he do. He knows the gangsters in New York, that's for sure. You know, and he has a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And, I despise him as an enemy because he set my cousin up to get killed. I don't really like talking about him too much.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say too much that can incriminate me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I leave that alone. But I do think he has something to do with Pac's murder. He had a lot of money, and he had a lot of influence over some of the gangsters in New York, or the gangsters in New York had influence over him, you know, because he's not a gangster, but he's a person that, you know, hang around, or he has relationships with gangsters. And it's all for protection purposes, you know what I'm saying? He's not a gangster, he never was, you know, but he's a very shrewd businessman, and he makes a lot of money, and he's able to supply or feed these gangsters and these wolves, keep them fed, keep them happy, keep them clothed, keep them in some money, and they pretty much do what he wants them to do. I think he put a hit out on Pac and Suge because he was intimidated by them. You know, at that time, it had just been reported that Suge had violated one of Puffy's people in the hotel, made him drink piss and all that, beat him up, smacked him up and shit.
So the rumors about Suge are true. He's definitely that guy.
Yeah, Pac was there. And
did he really hold Vanilla Ice over the balcony?
Yeah, he did something like that. He threatened the life of Vanilla Ice. I don't know the details, but Suge was known for intimidating folks.
I'm not going to lie. Met him once again, Jack the Rapper, Orlando. His presence alone, I was just like, you know. Hi, nice to meet you.
He's a very intimidating figure.
He was with Madeline Woods. You remember that Madeline Woods from BET? She used to host one of the shows.
The light-skinned girl?
Yeah, one of the shows on BET. And I just remember, that energy was just a little bit like, and he was just kind of big, and I was like, yeah, something's not right. Something's not right.
Yeah, well, you know, we all asked Pac when he got out. He got out in October of 1995. He got out, and he came home for Thanksgiving. And the first thing we did when he came home with a couple of bodyguards, right? And the first thing we did when he came home was we played our annual touch football game. We always played touch football amongst us for Thanksgiving. And then once we did that, we ate and enjoyed the festivities and everything. You know, we enjoyed the family unity and all that, you know, family get together. We had fun. And then after a while, we got all in a somber mood talking to Pac about, you know, signing with Death Row. And I remember very clearly why he said he signed with them. He said that, you know, Suge kept his promise, you know, and
to get him out.
And to do other things, you know, that was tied up in the deal, and he did it. And Pac felt obligated that, you know, he was going to keep it real with Suge until Suge stopped keeping it real with him. But as long as Suge kept it real with him, he was going to keep it real with Suge. In other words, he was going to fulfill his obligation like a man. You know, he felt that that's what he had to do.
Like that honor, that code.
Honor that, that's what he felt, and that's the kind of person he was. He was very loyal. you know, and he...
You know what's funny? Like, even with this story that you just told, you just gave them way more than this movie is going
oh, yeah,
to give
definitely,
the people.
Definitely.
So let's take a break.
Okay.
And when we come back, I want to talk about your script.
Okay.
And your story.
Let's do it.
And
I'm ready.
why people should, you know, not necessarily... I mean, people are going to do what they want to do.
Right.
But why it's important for them to get the real story.
The real story, yeah. And then you can judge for yourself what's really, really good. You know what I mean? Really.
Y'all stay close. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Are you an artist that wants to be featured on our show? Well, hit us up at tstnetworknet@gmail.com or contact us at 404-429-3437.